Hey everybody, I'm Gary McLean, and you are watching Talent Talk. Forgive the hair. Thanks for tuning in. Just a reminder that if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the Talent Talk YouTube channel. As always, your support's appreciated. And also a reminder that this is a live and interactive show, so if you have any comments, questions, anything like that, feel free to throw them into the comments section, and we will address them as best as we can as the show goes on. Now, today's episode, it's a bit different from what we normally do. It's a bit more about a series than a single person, but it's also about the people that are on the show. And the show is called Poly People, and it's a 7-episode mockumentary about the daily life of 4 people in a polyamorous relationship. It was co-created by Thales Corre, and I do hope I'm pronouncing that right. Horrible with that. And his classmate at Second City writing program, Melissa Girard. Thales then engaged his Brazilian production partner, Anthony Moore, who was eager to jump on board. Now, this is a stat I really like. Poly People employed 85% queer, female, and POC identified people in front and behind the camera, which I think is great. While each of the 4 main characters, non-binary identifying Cuddelz, played by Correa, again, hopefully pronouncing it correctly, bisexual Abigail, played by Andrea Flowers, lesbian Les, played by Ilona Kulinska, again, apologies if that's incorrect, and hetero but curious Tucker, played by Anthony Moore, have different sexual identities, they fall in love, and they take one another as lovers and partners and form a domestic unit. So please join me in welcoming Thales, Anthony, Andrea, and Ilona as we find out more about Poly People and the folks that bring the characters to life. Now I bring you all in. There we go.
Yay.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me.
Like in a blast, all the screens.
And yeah, so thank you for coming, guys. I highly appreciate that. And this is by far the largest cast I've had on the show, so thank you for that.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And everybody's in LA today, right? Enjoying the summer heat.
Yes, we're all in LA.
Enjoying is a word.
Surviving through it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Did you guys get a heat wave there a few weeks back as well? I know we did up here. We got a massive heat wave, like up in the close to the 40s there for a bit.
I think
it's
we
Celsius
did.
again.
How's Canada weather, by the way? Does it get this hot? Like, I've heard is a little bit different in Canada.
You know what? Like, I think during the summers it's fairly average to reach up to 30, but getting above that is fairly abnormal.
30 Celsius.
Yeah, we've had quite a few.
Okay.
Celsius, yes. Yeah. So I'm guessing that's around 80, roughly.
Yeah, 80s. Yeah, that's pretty hot.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. Again, I'm just kind of guessing at that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the intro. I appreciate it. You're talking about the show. So yeah, this is the first time we're having all of the cast together here to talk about the show. So we're really excited to have us in an environment that is not the set in our character.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
and so, go ahead.
Oh no, if you had something to finish, go for it.
No, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Awesome.
The end.
Well, and I'm kind of curious. Like, obviously, Thales and Anthony, you guys kind of knew each other before this. Did you all know each other, or did you kind of get together as this grew?
Kind of. Yeah, Anthony and I, we already know each other for effing ever.
Since back in Brazil, like 12 years ago.
10 years ago. Oh my God! Since
now 12. It's been 11 that I've been here. So
yeah, since we were 12, right?
Yeah.
And now we're 22. But Ilona, I moved here to go to college, and I met Ilona in Santa Monica College, right, Ilona?
Right.
That's been a long time, and I've always been. We did theater together back then, and you know, I've always been creating stuff, Anthony and I, and then we always include Ilona in as much as we can, and then when we did Poly People. Anthony was already on board, and we were like rewriting the script, and we're like, oh my God, Ilona's going to be perfect for that. So we were already a person. and then but we still had another person to cast, and that's how Andrea came about. It was pretty much she came from a casting call, it was all virtual. I don't even know if we can call casting call anymore, but like it was right. It was a casting submission through the system here in LA, and she just like auditioned like between like among like thousands of girls that were auditioning, and we're like fell in love with her audition as soon as we put our eyes on her tape.
It was literally love at first sight. At least speaking for me, love at first sight. I saw Andrea and I was looking at that, I was like, that's Abigail.
Right? I don't know if Thales or Anthony noticed, but this is actually the shirt that I wore in my self-tape that I sent to them to play Abigail. And it still remains one of my favorite shirts. And I think it was this shirt that actually got me cast, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just the shirt.
And was it also against that wall that you did your self-tape, just out of curiosity?
Is this the wall? No, I was actually in a different apartment, and it was just boring beige wall. That yes, I do my self tapes here sometimes because it's a good color. Like you want.
Oh my God, he has it right there.
That's her audition.
I'm 28.
Oh my God, I'm 28.
I'm 28. Yeah, the first time I met Anthony, he pulled out my self tape and started showing me.
Yes.
I was like,
I have your self tape saved on my phone. That's how good you are.
Keep it on his pocket, like.
No, I show everybody like, do you want to see a perfect audition? That's a perfect audition. If you watch the show, it's exactly what you see.
You know what's funny? I don't remember that was the sides that we had for the tape, and
there is more because they have different sides. She has something with tied up on her hair.
No, but that line, I'm 28, it became like that is an intro for Abigail, right? Yeah. It became the whole, like we used on the trailer, we used all over. Like she started with the audition. It became the first line of the trailer and of the show. So we used it all over.
How funny!
Yeah.
It's funny. Go ahead.
Because Abigail's like the glue that holds us all together. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But it's funny how she used that on the audition, because usually it's not in order that, like we select random scenes to do auditions, and it was the scene that became,
look at this. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I'm pouring coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's true. But I think it's good we're so diverse. It keeps things interesting, fresh, sexy.
Added a mug.
I think my usage of props and self tapes is probably what books me the most work. I mean, there's that rule that you shouldn't audition, like you should keep your audition simple and not bring in too many props. I brought in a coffee pot, like redid my hair in the scene, like whatever. Because the second I saw the sides for this audition for Abigail, I was like, okay. I love the mockumentary style. I already loved her voice. I was like, yes, she's cool. I love her. She's open. I love her. I want to play her. So then I was like, okay, how do I do something or multiple things that no other actress is going to do? And I'm so glad I did, because look, here I am. Like I'm very glad I made. I'm very glad I make bold choices. Yeah.
Well, I definitely thought the timing on that was perfect when you were like, sexy.
Yep, she used it pretty well. She really did, Gary. Ilona doesn't have an audition. She's the fancy invited actress. Every time I have anything, it's like the first thing that pops in my head was like Ilona to Thales. See, he can. And I'm like Ilona and Andrea, always for anything. It's like a 30-year-old man, bearded and fat, Ilona and Andrea. Like I want them.
Yeah, I remember reading with Andrea and it just feeling so natural, because I know we read with another girl and it didn't feel as it did with you. So I'm glad that we made that choice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
It's pretty much how we met.
Yeah.
And do you guys, on some sets, you've got folks that take on certain characters. For example, there's the troublemaker on set. There's the mother figure on set. That kind of thing. Do you guys have that
like as a
feel on the
professional,
set?
as a character, as a
No,
No,
I think the actor.
as
Yeah.
The actor?
yeah, as the actor, yeah.
I feel Anthony is the mom for sure.
I see
feel
him as a troublemaker.
I do.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, 2 votes for troublemaker.
Wait, do you think Anthony is a troublemaker?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
He's the
What?
pot stirrer.
Well, I wasn't the one drinking on the
Oh, wait. Steve's stirring the pot right now.
I would say
Right now, you're
Andrea.
stirring the pot.
I am the mother.
Yeah.
I birthed
Oh.
all of you from my womb.
Agreed.
You're like Mother Nature bringing a tornado. Yes.
People watching this who know me are like, that's not
No, that's true.
we have a
I think
comment.
Ilona is the troublemaker.
And it's just something. Anthony has to be the troublemaker.
Yeah,
That's
we
a comment.
We got a comment.
Yes.
I was like, what is this,
Absolutely.
a sponsor or something? It just pop an ad. Like,
SD
Yeah.
music is right on the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do
why
see
me?
I do see though. Well, because you like throw in comments. Like you're constantly trying to keep it fun. Do you know what I mean?
But I'm the Chandler of the group, so that's why I do jokes when I'm uncomfortable. Like, right?
Yes. That's true. That's true. But Chandler was also very hesitant to have kids. So is
That's true. Wow. Let's talk about a different show now.
No, I do see how you're like the parent though, because you are constantly trying to bring us together, and I feel like the spirit on the set was constantly rallied by you. In between takes and stuff. So I see that. I see that.
I just remember.
You're like
I just remember Anthony, like, because we shot this during the first COVID thing back last year, and then him with the gun, like, let me check if everything's okay, making sure everybody was fine. You know what I mean? That's how I see it, and it was like, thank God he's doing that job, because we need it. We need someone that is overseeing everything. That's why I have that vision. But Anthony being a troublemaker, I think I'm already so used to it that it goes out of my head. Like, yeah.
Well, but then now Gary sees that Andrea is the troublemaker. Ilona is the political correct. Is Ilona the one always saying like, guys?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Ilona is the political
Is
correct.
that kind of quiet girl that is mischievous. You know what I mean? She she's not gonna, but she's doing some mischief in the back. Like,
Ilona is the kind
give-
to say, when you say on the script, girl, you're right. Ilona's like, well, you say girl because of her age. Is she under 18? Like, is she right just because is she a girl? Because, and I was like, Ilona is just like it's just a sassy way to say. She's like, okay, a sassy way, I think it's okay. And then she writes down. I'm like,
It needed to make sense.
actually there were like a few handful of times when we were workshopping the script and talking about moments that I definitely remember Ilona being like the PC officer, and I was like, yeah, girl. She was on it, and I think she improved a lot taken it away.
every time I have a doubt,
I wouldn't call it PC. I would say I kept us on track. I kept us from veering into weird territories that
you kept us mindful.
That's
I
amazing,
kept
yes.
us mindful.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
That was good.
I
Comedy
love that.
has some boundaries that sometimes is dangerous to cross, and
it's easy to break too, because we lost ourselves in the journey. Yeah.
But Ilona, it was the good thing about her is because she comes up with stuff to help out. She's just not like hey, you can't do that, get out of here. She's like, wait, hold on, can we improve that and make it a little bit more accessible? Here's an idea. So that's the difference between just being.
And she keeps it funny. That's something that we have to say. Ilona keeps it funny. She fixes it.
She came up with a lot of
Yeah.
She came up with a lot of things on set that was creative, that was funny, that really worked. And
Thales does have the best bloopers.
The best bloopers.
Well,
My favorite thing that I came up with was, do you guys want to finish Sophie's Choice?
Oh yeah.
It was you that came up with that?
I thought, that was not in script.
No, it wasn't on script, but I thought it was Andrea because she's the one with the line. But it was you then. Okay.
No, I whispered that line into her ear.
Yeah.
I remember.
I'm taking credit for it now.
Okay, good. I remember you did the Whole Foods line.
Which one? The Whole Foods. Yeah. Yeah. Where? Because I was thinking, I was like, where did she go? Like, where would she go?
Where did she go? I thought you would.
She would go to Whole Foods and like tear the place up. That's what she would do.
That was funny.
So we've kind of heard about everybody except the role that Thales played. So
yeah,
Cuddelz.
Cuddelz.
Well, I mean, other than Cuddelz, like
I was thinking about it. He's like the inventor. Like he's like the person in the basement making everything happen. Do you know what I mean?
He's the scary one. Like because he's the director on set, so he's also the scary one. Unless he's on screen, then I have the power. But if he's not on screen, like he's very scary. I'm just like,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Everybody says yeah.
He's the boss. He's the boss.
I always called Cuddelz she. But I know that I know that Cuddelz was good with he or she.
No, but I don't think he's talking about Cuddelz though.
No, it's
talking about you?
Yeah.
Thales, his role on set, like you are the political correct.
I thought we were talking about Cuddelz. Because Cuddelz felt like the mama to me. You know, we all went off to work. We would come back. We'd have cookies.
I know.
Cuddelz, yeah. But like me on set, because we also did another show together.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's the dad we are afraid of.
Yeah.
I love how Andrea described me in the basement, coming up like in a dark room.
Yeah, with all of us tied up, and then he has like an eye saying so.
I was just thinking, like, that's where a scientist has their lab. I don't know.
Wow.
You're a creator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. I mean, all right. I didn't know it was scary. I try to.
No, just for me.
Just for you. I try to make my cast comfortable, and I try to, but like as a director, you have a set to run, and there's things to get done, things to get accomplished. It all falls on my lap in the end of the day. So, like it or not, I have that responsibility of making sure that we're getting out of there with the scenes that we arranged to be shot, and at the same time, it's a very challenging stuff because we have to do that and still have to make everybody not feel that pressure, I guess.
No, but can I say, Gary, something like the something that I always tell Thales, because like Thales and I, we've been working for a while now, and he knows always exactly what he wants. And it's so amazing because at least for me as an actor, and I think the girls can vouch for that too, it makes our lives so much easier on set because his vision about the scene, it's just so clear, and he let us be like put our soul in our characters. But as a director, as the scene should be, he just knows it. So he gives us that feeling of, oh, okay, so that's what he wants. Because you know what I mean? Like working with a director that knows exactly what he wants it's just so amazing and still open to hear the ideas from the actors, which is a very fine line that he crosses beautifully. So here's a compliment.
Thank you, you saved me.
I think it's a testament to how we got the whole thing shot in 3 days. Do you know what I mean? Like that takes diligence and for the creator to set boundaries and get it done and make a set where everybody's ready and willing to jump on the next thing.
And that's actually going to be one of my questions. Is at first I had to read that sentence like multiple times because I'm like, 3 days, really? Is it 3 weeks? No, 3 days?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was the easiest shoot ever.
We rehearsed, but we were in the middle of the pandemic, so COVID was happening. We were very afraid, and we were under SAG-AFTRA, rules and everything, and protocols. So we have to limit the amount of people on set. We had to limit even our own contact with each other a lot. And so the girls and I and Thales, we all got tested, and we were all okay. So we started rehearsing a lot, like in our apartments. So when we get on set, we are like literally ready to go. And it was so beautiful. The team we had behind us, everybody from the team, Yulia, that was helping us with wardrobe, because every single day we shoot all episodes. So we have to change for all episodes every single day. And Thales had a huge ponytail that we always have to start with Ariana Grande scene. So, but for the fact that the actors were like ready to go and everything was so well organized, pre-produced, I think that's the only way we could do it. And we had fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we
the
did.
secret was we rehearsed a lot. You know, it is a character-based show. So all of us that played a part in it, I think the secret to be able to get it done the way we did, it was to make sure that our parts were like ready to go when we got on set, like Anthony said. So we were like rehearsed a lot. We did a lot of these Zooms, like these cameras meetings that we are in right now. So we did a lot of rehearsing like that before. And so and then everybody knew the schedule, like we made a plan, we prepared. So we rehearsed at home. So when we got all the team and the crew on the time that it was safe to do it, we were ready to snatch. And being a character-based show and having the actors playing those characters ready and rarely miss a bit. I don't remember anybody like missing, forgetting lines or anything like that. If anything, was just more pouring out of you guys, like ideas and stuff like that. But the things that we rehearsed, we were like ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
I'm just going to throw another comment up here that just came through.
fun is the most important factor of being. Sorry, I'm already reading this comment.
Go for it. It's all yours. Go for it.
To take care of the rest, of course. Prep, rehearse plays a huge role to AB film. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah, too. You'll have more
Right.
fun if you prep and rehearse for sure.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think the
stressing out.
reason
You could just
why
have
we were
fun.
the reason why we're able to have fun and relax, right? Because you're having fun when you're relaxed, is because we already knew what was up. Like we're already prepared, right? So we're like, we weren't like, oh my god, like what's going on? We all knew the schedule, we all knew our scenes, so we could just relax and just enjoy the ride.
And I think we had time to build our inner relationship too. Since we are all in a relationship, that was important for us to just be seeing each other so many times. And just like I tried always, like Andre stayed after rehearsal, Andre stayed lots of days, Ilona stayed lots of times, just for us to actually hang out and get to know each other, closer, so we could feel that proximity that was more than necessary on camera. So that was very nice that they gifted us with that time and talent and effort and love. Just we are just really we're really lucky to have those girls. Like, wow, yeah.
I do think the chemistry we built in those rehearsals too, I really do think it translated to the crew and other cast once they were there as well. I think we created a sense of closeness that everybody else wanted to kind of be a part of. And I think that really contributed to the momentum on set too. Because I mean, it really did feel like, yes, we were the poly people, the main actors, but it felt like a family coming onto that set with crew, even if it was just a hello and a goodbye at the end of the day, there was a closeness. And I think because of the chemistry we had built, everybody like wanted to be a part of it. And we were all like, yeah, let's do this.
So just out of curiosity, what do you figure that your total cast crew size was?
Oh my god.
Especially with COVID, I was just kind of curious as to how that
it was the very minimum, the way we say skeleton crew.
Right.
Definitely. Emmett is my AD. He always with me. We have the Grant, our DP, Scott, like 10-5, Yulia, 5, right? As a crew.
I think it was more than that. Maybe like 10 people, and then us.
Yeah, we had.
Sometimes it was more, sometimes less.
As the nurse on set, yeah. We have the other Scott also as AC.
Mm-hmm.
We have Omara doing the makeup.
Omara, yeah.
The makeup.
Amara, yeah.
Yeah, no, we had a few. We shrank. We even our art director Dennis was also on set.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had our crew was small, but at the same time was as small as it could be. We couldn't just.
Yeah.
We couldn't shred more than that, because then we would be in trouble to shoot with the amount of time and all the restrictions we get. So we had the amount of people we could have on the size of the space, because even that SAG was, say like, okay, so that's the size of your set, so that's the amount of people, the maximum amount of people that you can have. So that actually made us change a set once, because we found the first place, and for the amount of people we needed, there was not enough. So we found a bigger house, so we could actually have everybody separated with the distance. That was a very complicated thing, because that was our very first production in the middle of, I think, as soon as it opened, I think one of the very first productions ever in the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
But I gotta say, everyone was so professional and so careful, and wearing their masks and keeping a distance, and the makeup artist was so good with, not contaminating us with paintbrushes and things, and cleaning everything.
Yeah, she had everything for
really
everyone
impressive.
separated.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And we even had a nurse come in at one point just to
Yes.
make sure everything was going great. It's good. I felt
And
safe.
I used to shower them with alcohol, remember, before you get in the set?
and you would
Everybody
be
had to spin around, and I'm like,
You would be
Yeah,
the spray
the mom,
police.
see?
that was insane. We were so afraid.
We were, but I did feel safe. I think everybody took
Yeah.
it really seriously, and
Yes.
I didn't feel unsafe. So
And
Thank
that's
you, guys.
Ilona. That's the political correct one. That's the correct
See?
one. If she
You
feels
did
safe,
good.
Because it's true.
you did good. You get the Ilona stamp of approval.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have this vision that you actually have a stamp now. Just
I'll get a stamp.
I wouldn't
I'll
doubt.
get a
on
stamp.
the scripts. It's like, okay, yeah, fine. This is okay.
Yeah.
I should get a stamp.
That'd be great, actually. I think that'd be fun.
Right.
So I'm really kind of curious about. Well, the one thing I didn't mention actually in my intro is that it's actually up for a couple potential Emmys.
Yes.
And I'm kind of curious as to how that came about, how you found out about the nominations, things like that, and what how you guys feel about that. I'm assuming I know how you feel, but I'd just like to hear it.
Thales?
Very sad. Oh, just throwing at me? Okay, well. we
I was
submitted
surprised.
We submitted to, well, before I was very happy, but now the nominations came about. We're not in it, so now I'm sad. But
No, I have to say, Thales, we have to own it, because we saw a bunch of the shows, the great shows from big production companies that did not even make the ballot like we did. So
Yeah.
just to have the screening from 3 different phases, just to get in that ballot, it just means so far effing much to have the Emmy, one of the biggest world awards, saying you are an Emmy award worthy for a consideration. So that itself is a stamp that Ilona should be stamping, because she's a stamp girl.
Yeah,
Got it. Good job, Emmys.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
like that, it was pretty exciting. Like, we were able to get into the Emmys ballot for your consideration among like shows like Netflix productions and NBC stuff, and we were in a category. We were in a category that competes with drama is a short form category, and is included comedy, drama, and variety shows. So we have variety shows like Seth Meyers, from CBS, the other guy from CBS. So like the huge studios competing, and we're like underdogs there, trying like, hey, what up? Here we are. So it was pretty good to be among those big people, and it was very surprising to find out that we made the list to the ballot and be considered, and it was pretty exciting to have that sort of validation. And we tried to campaign. We were one of the last ones to come into the game, and the campaign was already rolling since February, the For Your Consideration campaign. But like Anthony and I, we did our best. We're like, you know what, we got these guys. Let's try to make this campaign work. Like we weren't expecting, but like we're here, we're queer, and we're gonna show. We want to show everybody, our show, and just make sure people, watch it, and that brings us to here, to be here with you, Gary. So it was great to like reach other venues, the show reach like you're in Canada, like talking about us. So that was already very good for us. definitely.
Which is amazing. Now that you said Canada, you know, I hope lots of people watch this in Canada, because every time I watch, because I still watch Poly People because I think these guys are hilarious. But you know, I keep thinking just a pop original series. And it just comes to me. Pop
original series. I love it.
Series.
Pop is American, Anthony, but they bought I think it's CBC. They bought the CBC Schitt's Creek. They bought Schitt's Creek, that is a Canadian show, and then they tagged the pop logo. But I think it's CBC. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, CBC is correct. Yeah.
CBC is the network. If you want like a CBC original, that's the Canada one. But in America, it came to the pop.
Yeah. Okay.
So just out of curiosity, have you all watched Schitt's Creek?
Oh God. I saw the all seasons like 10 times.
Yeah, no joke. He actually has.
Just can't memorize Laura's lines for English problems, but besides that, almost all over line. Like we are huge fans. Yes,
it's one of my favorite shows for sure.
Just pretty quick, Thales, before you keep going. AB Films is asking about second season and winking at Netflix. Please, let's start calling Netflix, guys.
Yeah.
We are actually. I'm the one trying to get the ball rolling for the second season, because Thales has his plate very full now. He is just launching our next show, which is coming out slowly, and I'm the one trying to get whatever we need to get second season for Poly People going, because that's my passion. I've done many things in my life. I'm almost 40 now, and I've been acting since I was 5, but nothing hit my heart so strong as Poly People did, and I mean it, because of these girls on set, because of the whole experience, because of the show itself, they are beautiful and loving world, just everything about the show. So yes, we are trying to make a second season at some point. Yes, we just need to talk about
the eternal question.
But let me tell you something. This season of Poly People was acquired by Breaking Glass Pictures, which is an American distribution company, and they're throwing they're making like a film version out of it. So it's basically all the episodes together that is gonna be shipped as a feature film, which is exciting. I watched the cut. Is very interesting to see how it plays a little different when you see it all together. And on the feature version, it's kind of like each episode is a different day, so you get to see a course of a year in the lives of this relationship. And culminating to the end. If you guys haven't watched it, you guys are going to see what's happening to the end of the show. And Breaking Glass took the rails and is distributing us for all over the world in a feature format. They also eventually will distribute as a series as it is in other platforms. But like that's in August 10, that's the day that they're going to drop in some platforms like that we're not in yet, like iTunes and some stuff like that, even DVDs. And so that's exciting, to reach more audiences with still this version. And
they did a bigger trailer too. A different.
They did a different trailer already. They already dropped, so that's exciting. Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of that, I will show the trailer that I do have. But before I even get to that, I'll just, because AB Films just had another quick post here as well, which, by the way, if you do go to the YouTube channel for this interview, at the very bottom, there's a link to the playlist for Poly People. So go ahead, click it on there, and you'll go straight to all the episodes. So...
Hey, AB Film is sending some nice words here. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
it. Thank
you.
Now, let's have a quick peek at the trailer so people actually know what we're talking about.
All right.
Let's see it.
I am bisexual, and I am currently sharing myself with 3 lovers.
Thus begun my journey into this polyamorous relationship. Hi, bless be the fruit.
I'm a very sensitive lover.
Don't know how to tell my parents I have 3 lovers, and one of them is a guy.
No he, no she, non-binary. Pretty sure your parents would get it right away. I'm talking trim, honey.
I used to be a backyard wrestler.
This is a room of peace.
We don't let Les do any of the grocery shopping anymore.
What the hell is this?
Salmon milk?
Whenever it goes up.
Yeah, I think you should cut and leave now. Things are gonna get weird. No, really, I think you should cut.
Never gets old.
Right?
Never gets old.
I've actually watched it a few times already. It still makes me chuckle. So
Yeah,
yeah.
It's so cute, the face of Ilona when I'm like showing her on the dress on that scene on the dress. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
I know, like so sad.
so cute.
And I actually watched that episode as well, where she's.
Oh yeah, I think that's the pilot one. What do you think, Terry, of Poly People, with your own words?
I've enjoyed it. I haven't finished them all. I'll be honest with you. I've only watched the first 2 or 3, I think, at this point. But no, I've enjoyed it so far. I'm looking forward to finishing it off, to be honest. So, but that trailer did bring up another point that I did want to quickly discuss, and that's this topic right here.
Very free.
Where did this come from?
I think Ilona and Abigail should look at it. Okay, this comes
Little
from
Armenia is found.
Little Armenia.
Yeah, Little Armenia.
This comes from Melissa, the original creator of the show, the crazy mind who had the whole idea when she was studying with Thales, and she is just like Thales and I. We're still looking at some new project that she's been writing and sending to us for consideration and hopefully production. And Thales and I, we just read her stuff and we're like, how does she think of those things? Like, she's insane and
what
hilarious.
Is she doing?
Yeah, what is she doing? So honestly, I don't know how she came up with salmon milk, but we were bawling since day one.
I think it was a joke about like because you have cashew milk, you have
salmon and the milk.
Yeah, and then you have all sorts of like. They make milk, soy milk. They make milk out of anything, and then she just throw like salmon milk randomly. Make the joke about like, because Abigail made a list for Laz to do grocery shopping, and then she's like, oh, buy eggs, salmon, milk.
No,
but she didn't put comma or any. She said salmon, milk, and eggs, and she didn't put any commas. So I followed it. And she found because there's milk made of anything. She's like, here we go, salmon milk. She wanted.
I think it is so funny how salmon milk has become the viewer's like obsession a little bit. Like the threads we've participated in with our people who are watching Poly People that are like, is salmon milk real? Because it is that line. Like, there's a line. There's so many kinds of milk. Is it? Is this possible?
And then,
I love how that causes that.
Dan is our art director. He was the one who made this whole art and the box and everything. He did a very good job. So kudos to Dennis. He was really good doing that. Like seriously amazing. So
our director Dennis, when he saw that and then he came up with that design of that you showed here in the picture. He's the one who was like, you know what? Like, here's the salmon milk of the script, and we're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It really is.
I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny how commercial it is. Like, you'd think salmon milk would come in like a bag or something, but it's created in 1999. Salmon milk has been on Armenian shelves.
And that scene is on the trailer. And every time I show a trailer to somebody, they always chuckle on that. When salmon milk shows up, like, what? So yeah, it became an iconic thing.
I actually want to do. There are 2 shirts that I'm promising myself every day that I'm going to be working on the design and actually make the shirts for us, which is the salmon milk shirt. And I want to make cranberry juice, good for dates and UTIs. I really want to make that shirt because like I would wear that every day. I'm going to have like a tank top version, a suit version.
Like a Poly People merch, right?
Yeah, cranberry juice because Tucker is so fixated and Abigail loves it. So yay.
That's from the date night episode, isn't it? That's my favorite.
Mine too.
Yeah, I love that episode.
I love that episode.
Oh.
You know what? We're just so you guys are aware, time-wise, we're about 40 minutes in.
Oh wow!
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right?
Yeah, it goes by really fast.
And usually around the halfway mark, I just like to throw a reminder out to the folks that are watching that this is live and interactive. So go ahead and post your comments or questions if you have any for myself or the cast.
Yeah, throw it at us. Bring it.
Right?
Let me know if you guys have tried salmon milk before.
I'll be perfectly honest. I was searching for it. I was like, where
online? That's Dennis, you know, he did such a realistic art on that, and the girls portrayed it really good because it really like comes off like, wait, hold on, is that really real?
and I do have to, I do have to plug in the Alberta project that was released probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. It was actually about almond milk farming.
Oh yeah.
And, again, it was a bit of a comedy, right? And there, you know, it was almost like a PSA or a public service announcement of these, you know, almond milk farmers and what they have to deal with on the farm and with all these almonds, and they've got almonds laying around all over the ground, and they have to pick them up and put them on the little feeders and milking them. And it's very funny, and it has like millions of views on YouTube.
Wait, I heard of that. Do you know who made it? Do you know? I try to remember. Isn't the guy who made Aqua Donkey that did that? There's McConaughey. What's his name? Oh, God. You guys watched Aqua Donkey on the extinct Quibi? Now it's on Roku channel. So this guy, he's a comedian, and he usually live on a walnut farm or almond farm, and then I remember he did a documentary, so I'm wondering if that's the same one.
Yeah,
like it.
I'm not too sure. It's the video itself is actually called Nut Milk Exposed, or Nut Milking Exposed.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I can't wait to watch that.
I know, I have to watch it.
I'm trying to research as we speak of it.
You know what? I've actually got it here, so I'll quickly share it. I can't really share it publicly, but I can share it in the private chat for you guys.
Perfect.
And then we'll go from there. But yeah, it's worth a laugh, I think, or a watch and a laugh.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. Sorry, folks, for the folks watching. There we go.
Yeah, folks.
There we go. Sorry, we got a private link. You guys didn't. Sorry.
Actually, you know what? I think I can put it in the public link too. I'll just do that too. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So everybody can be on
There
the
we go.
Everybody can watch it now. But watch Poly People first.
Right. Yeah. There's a priority list.
Yeah. Watch Poly People on YouTube.
So you can reference back. Yeah.
So you can reference back, so you can understand.
But it's anyway. Enough of that. Let's get back to you guys. I'm kind of curious now because we've really talked about Poly People a bit, but I wouldn't mind touching on you folks as individuals a little bit as well. And since this was kind of more or less spearheaded by Thales, maybe we can start with you. And you came from a small town in Brazil, that much I know. Made your way to LA now. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that journey. And
okay. Oh, damn. Yeah, you started right. I'm from a small town in Brazil. My dad was a coffee farmer, not walnut. It was coffee. But I came to study film here in LA. My first stop was actually where was that city? That San Jose. I actually went to San Jose for 3 months, and then I transferred to Santa Monica College, where I met that girl right there, Ilona. And then I was studying like film theater, like entertainment, and then transferred to UCLA. I focused on filmmaking, and that's pretty much it. Like since I moved here to America, it was like a discovery of my own personal growth, my sexuality, my place in this world as a member of LGBTQ plus community, and also as a filmmaker, my place in the set, like where do I feel comfortable, where do I like creating, and then it was my time here in America that I was able to discover everything. Like studying, I realized that I love writing and creating, like being on a cave, like Andrea mentioned, like just creating and making sure we develop projects. And so I start writing. I did my first short film while I was still in Santa Monica College, and then I did another short film. They got some hit. They went to Festival de Cannes. They went around the country in other festivals, and then I was craving to write and do a feature film. So I did a film called Bathroom Stalls and Parking Lots recently, and then it was running on the festival circuits and LGBTQ plus festivals, and we got like, I got an award on the Qflix Film Festival as the best first time director for a feature film with that movie. And that we got distribution with Breaking Glass. That's how my partnership with them started, with that film. So Breaking Glass is a Philadelphian distribution company, and they're really good in distributing that kind of content. And it was great. I was really excited to be able to produce, to write and create art on a theme that is really important for my personal life, which is the queer community. And since then, I always wanted to do something for the web, something that is more short, something that is more up to this generation. Like I'm someone that I'm always trying to learn, always trying to adapt, always trying to reinvent myself. And then I joined the Second City writing program. That's how I met Melissa, and then we started developing Poly People, and then Anthony, like we told before, like I already knew Anthony way before when I was living in Brazil. I lived in São Paulo for a while. That's how I met him. And then we both came to America. Like I came to study. He came in his own pace. I came at my own pace. We were like just keeping in touch. And then he was working on his career on side. I was working on my career on side. We were like working projects together here and there. But that was when I was on the writing program on Second City that I was like, I have to join. I have to grab Anthony to do this with me, because actually I was pitching a show there called Unpolitically Correct, which was about a stand-up comedian that was insensitive about his comedy, and then Anthony came to my mind right away. No, I'm just kidding. It was Second City. For those who don't know, is a comedy group here in LA, in Chicago, in New York that is they're focused on stand-up and improv. And when I joined, and then remember Anthony does that. He has done that a lot. So when I joined the group, I got in touch with him and be like, yo, let's pitch something for this program that I'm being part of, because I think it's gonna match what you do. And then that's how we started to do this recent projects together. And then Poly People was on the table. We were writing a lot of other stuff as well. And then, like he described it, he fell in love with Poly People. I Meet You, and then we did Poly People, and then we did this other show that we already were writing before. That's pretty much it. Did I summarize it? I guess.
Well, the one question.
My breakups, I skipped all of that.
Well, I wasn't going to get into that, but the one question I did have is I was kind of curious with your dad being a coffee farmer, how supportive was he of the whole going into film and theater and that kind of thing, or was he hoping that you'd take over the farm? Or
he did. I had a brother. He would bring me, my brother, to the coffee farm, like just trying to spark our interest. And every time I would go, it was like, oh, I hate it so bad. And then I was like, I can be anything but a coffee farmer. Like I didn't want to My dad is like, the more I grow up, more I realize I've become more like him. He is like, he used to have like a day job and work in a coffee farm. The coffee farm was like his project kind of thing. Like he loved it. He was passionate about it. So, and coffee is kind of similar to film. It is, like, hear me out. I know it's weird, but coffee is like, you get a money, you harvest, you make this whole thing, you prepare, you get money from the bank, and then you get the land, and you have to. I mean, I clearly don't know much. I'm just saying like the basic stuff because I wasn't following my dad. But my comparison is like, you grab a money and then you invest and you grow, and there's a time that the thing's going to flourish, and then you sell out. So filmmaking is pretty much, and then you don't know like if it's going to work or not, because your investment can go wrong. It's not guaranteed. It can have a bad weather and the coffee is not be of a good quality. There's all sorts of factors that play out that the coffee might not be as good to sell and pay off the investment. So filmmaking is a little bit like that, because like you get a money to invest in a project, and then you have to write, you gather your people, and then there's the harvesting, you get everybody together, and then you shoot it, and then you edit, and then you send it out to the world, hoping you're gonna harvest a good result. So, and year by year, he would do a coffee that would, like, it would be like, oh, this year the coffee was good enough to pay off and keep going, and then the next year wouldn't be as good, and then he would lose a lot of money, and then my mom would fight with him like, no, you should drop the coffee business. But he was very resilient, he was very persistent, and every year he never dropped it. And actually, like, he passed away, and the year that he passed away, he was about to come. I was already living here in America, and then he was about to come visit me, and then he was like, he always wanted to, come to America and visit. He's very like, like that, and then he was like, oh, I just have to harvest. Like, he was like, oh, the coffee that I've been planting like the whole year is the time to harvest is gonna be like this month. So like after the harvesting, I'm coming to America to visit you. And then he got the passport, he got everything, and then he couldn't, and then he passed away, and then he couldn't even harvest. And so, but sorry, I don't want to get but the thing is, he and then like, although when I was younger, I was always being like, I don't want to do what you do. Like, I just noticed that I can't avoid it. Like, although I'm doing like something completely different than coffee farming, I'm in a business that requires the same type of resilience that he had, and the same type of personality. So I can see myself in him a lot, like yeah. Try to always pick it up and do another, like try better next year. But you asked if it was support. Yeah, exactly. If it was supportive or not, and then I drifted. My bad. He definitely wanted me to go to his business, and I definitely didn't want to go. So he respected. He always tried to push, but he was like, "Yeah, I wanted to come here, but I'll support you as well." So it was kind of like that. I was very young, so I was trying to prove myself. So as I was growing older, I was like working and standing up on my feet, and then like releasing my own projects. I was able to like make them comfortable that the path that I was choosing, it was one that they wouldn't feel that I was wasting my time, if that makes sense. For sure. But it wasn't like, go Thales, just go do film, we're here to support. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was very like, I had to prove myself. I have to fight. I have to be like, no guys. And I didn't know what I was doing either, but like, I know that it was something I was passionate about.
Well, firstly, thank you for sharing that. And sorry to almost Barbara Walters you. That was not my intent. Great. If you don't mind, I will move on to we'll go
Yeah,
with
please.
Ilona here. Yeah. not to trivialize what you were just saying. Just
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Since you mentioned Ilona first, I figured we'd move on to her, and I think she's probably looking to get out of here fairly soon as well. I think.
I can
Time-wise.
stay a little bit fast. No worries. We don't have to rush. Don't worry. Okay, so I was born in Poland. I came here when I was about 8 to Los Angeles, and I came here with my family, obviously. And I realized from a young age that I really like to entertain and act, and so I joined choir and then musical theater in middle school, and I fell in love with it. I kept going through high school. After high school, I went to Santa Monica College, where I met Thales, and I started doing professional theater around Los Angeles, and then I branched out a little bit to a little bit of film and TV and little short skits here and there, comedic shorts online. I got into burlesque. I've just kind of been all over the place. A little bit of voiceover, and I love what I do. And I was so excited to do this because once the pandemic hit, it was just like everything stopped, and it was such a nice thing to hear from Anthony and Thales, be like, hey, we want you to work on this project, and it's LGBT, and as a gay woman myself, like I was like, hell yeah, and that was just it was such a treat. So I'm really happy to be here, and hopefully things will be coming back now. They are starting to come back, but things will pick up, and we'll keep going from there. And that's my story.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
When I was trying to research all of you, the one thing I seem to notice about Ilona is that you seem to have a little bit of a hiatus between like 2016 and 2020, it seems. So I just thought I'd ask the question.
Not in. I mean, if you're looking at like film and TV, yes. But
Okay.
I kept doing theater, and I did burlesque, and that doesn't pop up on IMDb.
Fair
But,
enough. Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I just kind of take things as they come, really.
Yeah. No,
So.
fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. And let's move on to Anthony.
Ooh. Okay. Well, also from Brazil. I've been acting since I was 5, but I'm also from a very little town back in Brazil, but a very dry area. We grew up without water. That's a very we couldn't even plant coffee, which is funny because there's not really funny. There was a tragedy, but I just remember there was a little town close to my town that was called the Dead Cow. And it's funny because every time I passed by it, there was a dead cow because of the heat and the lack of water. I just thought of the dead cow. Anyways, La Vaca Muerta. But anyway, so yes, I've been acting my whole life. My cities, the cities I grew up on, they never really had any cultural life as it goes for acting, theater, whatever. So I was usually the one going to the principal in school, trying to get people together, writing plays, and trying to direct the plays and trying to go after money to make this happen. So I was kind of known in the city as the crazy guy who's never going to do anything in his life because he's the theater guy. There was a red flag for my sexuality. Theater guy. So then I moved to a bigger city, to the capital, and for my high school. And then I started doing professional theater, going to theater festivals, and that's when I got my first award with acting. So I kind of like, okay, so actually what I do is not that bad. I can actually do it. So that was good for me to believe more in myself. And then at the age of 17, I went to São Paulo. Then I lived in the streets, all those same Madonna story. Go to New York, $50 on the pocket, blah, blah, blah. I'm dying, I'm hungry, then yay. So after a while, I went to TV. I started doing stand-up comedy in Brazil, by the way, because I was hungry and I didn't have money to eat. And I was like, how am I going to, there was a period where I spent like 6 days with no food, right? So I passed out. I woke up in the hospital because I didn't have food in my stomach. So once I got out of the hospital 3 days later, I I was walking on the streets, like thinking, what am I gonna do? Like at that point, I'm way too ugly to be a whore. So not even. So I saw a little stand-up sign, like a little contest, and the winner for that open mic was 300 reals in our money at the time. I was like, well, I'll try. I mean, I don't care if I'm fun or not. I will get that microphone. But I forgot that I was a little hillbilly, because where I came from is the middle of nowhere. I had no clothing or fashion or sense of style or sense of anything, actually. So I just got the microphone and they called my name. I was like, hello, good night. And everybody started laughing and bawling for 3 minutes nonstop. And I was like, what? I didn't get to the joke yet. And then I realized, oh, I'm the joke. Awesome. I don't have to do anything. I was like, oh, so I left. I went into the laugh, and I was like, I think he didn't understand. So I said it again. I said the good night, and then they started laughing again. That was the end for me, and they blinked the red light. I was like, okay, and then I won 300, and I was like, what? I just said good night twice. That was horrible, but I really liked it to make people laugh, and even though my state in Brazil is very famous for the comedians, because we had such a miserable life that the only way we can survive is by laughing. We look at our own misery, like, let's make fun of that. Otherwise, we're going to kill ourselves. So we grew up with a huge sense of humor. So that's where it comes from. But then I saw a karaoke sign on that same night. I'm like, another 200. And guess what? I won! And I was like, I didn't know I can sing either. It seems like hunger is a great teacher. But anyways, I came after time went by. I was found. I started making commercials and stuff, and then I finally made it to TV in Brazil, where I made enough money to get the heck out of there and try my Hollywood dream. So 12 years ago, I came as a tourist. To be fair, Thales was the one who kind of inspired me to come to Hollywood, because when I met him, he was about to come to Santa Monica College. That's what he said. He was about to come to Hollywood. The sense is, I'm going to Hollywood. And when he said that, I'm like, wait, if he can go to Hollywood, I can go to Hollywood. He doesn't need have blue eyes. I was like, what? I look more gringo than him.
I definitely not say, I'm going to Hollywood.
You don't remember, because you don't even remember when you thought you were straight here. So, in my story, you said I'm going to Hollywood. Anyways, bottom line, after a month after I think he said that, I was here waiting for him. And then, I've started. I couldn't speak a word in English at all. So, anyways, yada yada. Thales is such a big influence in my life without even knowing. Like my first stand-up comedy here in America, he was the one forcing me almost. He literally came to my place, helped me to write the jokes, and dragged me to the open mic at the Flappers in Burbank. And that was a great night. And so after that, I started walking on my own. But yeah, so Thales has always been, I think, my backbone. I didn't even know. Ew, Thales. But yeah, that's how everything came. But I've been working as an actor and as a comedian my entire life, and I do whatever is necessary to do to get what I want, but always working as hard as you can. I think that's for everybody else, right? It should be.
Right.
Yeah, that's an awesome story, by the way. I was totally engrossed in that entire.
Thank you.
You're so funny, Anthony. You just I totally believe that you just said good night and people died, because that's what happens when I you just say one thing and then you have the room.
And you also do editing, right? Like film editing and stuff as well. I think was what I read. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Well.
Hi.
Last but definitely not least.
I am from the U.S. of A. I was born and raised in Austin, Texas. My artistic endeavors, I think, started writing songs. Like I started writing poems, and then was 6 years old, and then I'd be making up the melodies for them, and just kind of singing. And I was a country girl for sure. My songs were all about going out back and taking a walk in the wildflowers.
Oh my God, so Abigail.
Yes, she has to sing now.
We need that.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Let's let Abigail sing actually, and then Les, we could do like some harmony or something like that. Anyways, just drop it. Brilliant.
Put that in there. Put that in the next script.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so my start was like music. That was kind of how I understood that I was artistic. That's how my parents understood that I was artistic, because I was constantly like writing a really moody song in my room. Then that translated to the stage, of course, when I was really young. I don't know, this might not translate past America, but my first musical that I did was in 4th grade. And it was an adaptation of Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. That might not translate to anybody, but it's a book of poems that was translated into, it was adapted into a musical. And I sang, there's this ridiculous song about a girl named Peggy Ann McKay and how she's sick and she can't go to school today. When I get real tipsy, I'll sing it for people because I still remember it, because that's how good I am.
Let's pretend you're tipsy.
See, I knew I should have said, okay, bring your drinks.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little snippet. The start goes like this. It goes, I cannot go to school today. Then the chorus goes, said little Peggy Ann McKay. Then I go, I have the measles and the mumps, the gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And that's when I'm going to stop.
That's Andrea for you.
So that was my start, and then it just was all
The rest is history.
The rest is history. Like when I was 12, I saw this really attractive girl playing a guitar. It was like at my sister's graduation party, and she was beautiful, and she played a song on her guitar, and she had this folksy voice, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to play guitar like that girl. So then I learned how to play guitar. So then my first time I've thought of Shel Silverstein since I was 12. Yes.
Thank you.
Where the sidewalk ends is where it's at. So yeah, I learned to play guitar, and then I was a theater nerd, and then I moved to LA about 4 years ago, and I've just been, doing the hustle since then. I was lucky enough to, meet a guy in my undergrad who was regularly producing movies. So by the time I got out of college, I had a really great reel built with like a lot of different characters to showcase my, compared to how it could have been when I was 21 in Hollywood, I had like a reel with lots of different characters and good dialogue. And I always think about that moment because I think that I was really lucky in that regard. And since then I've just, what else is there to say? Hustling, trying to do it, trying to make it, getting more work every now and then, and yeah.
Andrea, my first acting job in the States was actually a musical too. There was Horton Hears Who. Yeah, I played Horton. I played Horton, the elephant. Oh, that was so amazing.
That.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Seussical or is that a different one?
Seussical. No, it's Seussical.
I was in Seussical. I played Gertrude.
You did? Oh, I can see you totally as Gertrude. I totally can see it. Anyways, just pretty quick, I gained lots of weight on that time because I had just come from Brazil, and I didn't know how to speak English very well. I could sing whatever I read, but I was just like, all I ate was burgers and American food. So I had a friend from Colombia, and she was practicing with me, and she was like, so you play an elephant, huh? I was like, yeah. She's like, you really dressing up for the part. And that got me so traumatized, but so happy at the same way because I was like, I'm not skinny anymore.
That's amazing.
It's working. Yay.
Yay.
For those who haven't seen Seussical, it's a very fun musical, and Horton is one of my favorite characters. So
I love it.
Yeah, I've seen it once quite a while ago, actually now, but yeah, like locally here as well.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. There's places that put stuff like that on around here. You know what? I just realized I kind of failed as a host here because while you guys were doing your own little topics there, I was meaning to run things like this, right? So that and I totally failed on that. But
Now you can
what-
do it right now. Andrea Flowers website. Wow.
Yes, thank you, Gary.
Wow.
and what,
Thank
what
you,
reminded
Kyrie.
me, right? And what reminded me is when you're
Andrea,
talking
I'm
about
gonna
the
follow
singing.
you on Instagram.
I went to
What
your
did it remind you
Instagram.
of? Oh,
And
oh.
I was actually listening to some of your singing on Instagram. So if folks want to hear her singing, that's where you need to go, right there.
I should post some new stuff. Yes, thank you. Little singer right
No
here.
problem.
Have
So,
to get together again, Andrea, so I can hear you singing. More adios, mother.
Ooh.
I might as well get them in now before we totally log off here. So I'll just
Oh,
kind of
look, my
scroll through
name.
them.
Anthony
And
Moore.
Who's that?
Anthony
Oh,
Moore
yes.
website.
Just making
Just saying.
www.ent.com. Instagram at Tony Moore Shots.
Okay, Thales, we're ready yours too.
And the one question I kind of have for all of you before we do kind of end the episode here is favorite moment from Poly People. Always a tough question because there's always
Always a
so
tough
many
question.
favorites, right?
My date with Abigail, I just love that scene. I just love it.
Oh, our date scene.
Our date scene, I just love the whole alcohol gel and me using as a cologne, and
Yes, that's
Ilona
such a good
creeping up
moment.
on the side. And that was looked like he was a teenager girl watching his favorite pair getting together. That was just like, for me, everything was so fun. For me,
That
that's my
was an
favorite.
amazing scene. Yeah, love that scene. I also love my date with you, Tucker.
Oh my God! my dates,
Yeah.
my dates were like my favorite scene.
The dates are the best because you get to see the relationships, you know? So
Yeah.
I think those are golden. We need to have more of those.
My favorite scene is this one right now that we're seeing because at the bottom of the screen we have Thales Corre. ThalesCorrea.com, ThalesCorrea.com, Instagram, ThalesCR. I know my name is complicated, but bear with me. There's a lot of content.
So are you, Thales. So are you.
You gotta make that plug. You know what I mean? No, but you guys are right. For me as a director, it's hard to choose a favorite scene because every scene I'm very involved. Even if I'm not acting on it. What are you looking at me like that?
The Mormons.
Which one? Mormon is amazing.
Wow.
To play, it was a very good scene for me to pull up photos because it was a little different than the rest of the show. Like it was interacting with two extra guys, and it was very quick-whipped, and it was like at the door, and it was very challenging, and it was great. It's the Mormon scene.
These guys are
Yeah.
so funny too.
They are.
They are. I'm such a fan. They are actually on our new show too. By the way, everybody from Poly People, it's on our new show that's coming out. So, yeah.
So be tuned to the website that I described just now.
Down below.
Down below that he already put out. We're going to be dropping soon. This one, yeah. We already start
Some little
posting
teasers
some
and
teasers, little teasers from Humanitism. You guys not gonna recognize Anthony. He's without any filters. That he's on his natural self. But Anthony is playing a completely outrageous character that is a 74-year-old man. He's this crazy philosopher who also has a YouTube channel. And all of these beautiful girls are also on the show, and all the rest of the cast and crew, actually. The whole team of Poly People kind of did a repeat on this new show that is coming up really soon. So we were excited about that too.
I like to give.
Anthony
okay,
is
so-
picking up. Oh,
Yeah.
this is a teaser for our Humanitism.
But this is me on the next show.
This is Anthony's character on the
Nice.
next show.
Nice.
It's still Andrea's lover.
And he's still Andrew's lover.
Yeah.
Ilona gives a special guest appearance there. But it's exciting. It was good to have them around on set again. It was a different story, a completely different world, completely different show, but it was good to have the same people doing it again and showing the versatility and showing that we were able to do different stuff. So we're excited to drop and see. I want to see what you think of this new one, Gary.
I definitely send it my way because I want to check it out for sure.
Definitely. Yes.
Ilona is playing a little bee in this one. So well done, by the way, Ilona. So well done.
It was a tough shoot because we had to do it in the car, and the car kept moving. And then when it got to a certain spot, I was like, "Oh, we missed it. We got to go back." So it was fun.
Sounds like a scene I did once where I was playing saxophone while driving. That was fun.
What?
Yeah.
You were
How in the world?
While driving? That is dangerous.
While driving, yeah. Well, I mean, just slightly distracted driving, nothing serious.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, obviously it was nothing serious. I mean, obviously it was on a isolated road and no danger whatsoever. But
Do you play the saxophone, Gary?
I don't actually play the saxophone. No.
So you were trying to play saxophone.
Yeah.
Even harder.
But you're an actor.
Sorry?
Yes, he's an actor. Yes, he's an actor. It's all over.
So you're playing a character that plays saxophone on a car.
Correct. Yes.
That's great.
So I assume you play saxophone actually.
No.
No.
I just asked that.
Oh, you did? Oh, it was cropping a lot. So sorry, Andrew. The internet connection is just like.
But on that note, I want to thank you guys so much. I think we'll kind of wrap it up there.
Thank you.
I appreciate getting all four of you together for the first time. Yay!
It was so nice.
Thank you so much,
nice to
Gary,
see
for making this happen. Appreciate the space and everything. That was awesome. I had so much fun. And I hope everybody that is watching here, come check it out, Poly People, in our next show.
Absolutely. Yes. And if you watch this episode later, it'll still be available.
Yes. Yay.
All right.
So thank you all.
Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
We will touch base. And just a reminder, if you guys don't mind hanging back just for a couple minutes.
Yep.
And
definitely.
That'll be about it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, the music.